Ebusiafo ni etiefo ni di kwan so me pa cho me ma obi bia akwaba e ba channel so ayi daily update ebusia you make a bit reference to article 146 clause 1 no, of the 1992 constitution of Ghana, which stipulates the conditions under which a Supreme Court judge and as a Superior Court judge can be removed from office, of which are clear the grounds near 3: incompetence, stated misbehavior and infirmity of body and as a mind. Now me pacho Chief Justice Torkono die ya ise abe ye de na ye need de wo petition mu nkofo nsema o mapia ba bonten ne niema wo ma project aba bonten na ma yenso yehu some of the things na e contain in the petition. The judicial audit report no e reveal and as e expose Chief Justice Torkono e wo ade bia wa ya so fa mu hu ni say enye wanya de pa wanfa kwan pa so anye sa de na ni intention and say ni intent no na somehow no e dubious me the mean nka sa bet report no ana e chebusia eno ne nsem a eda trend social media no so no mo kam ni say by now they maybe when you be kra etia so far report ni e kire say Chief Justice Torkono ene nikunu ene ne baba etu kwan unofficial trip eno no na nke ni kwan say niema e cover omo no or the omani sika ana da kwahwe omo ne baba according to niema ene eye da ho me patcho won say ya project eyi kakra bi ya make projection bi e screen so me patcho according to the audit report no otua ne baba $10,000 per diem. So one no call ne baba no one emra say unofficial traveler obi bia odi ni beko bia no eni kwan say ne ka being bought by the state. So unu kunu ko na say one enye personal your friend security, because your personal security no aban ne hwe no tisi an one for personal security na nko ana wo de ukunu ko ye ba ukunu ko ye so na enye official trip into a unofficial your friend said trip into no it is being believed say and I say mrana ka say e wo say omo na wo de omo ko no omo bed ni nyina no one also offer enu kwan say wo de to aban no so but ono e di ni kunu ko ya yesterday listening to Kelvin Taylor made us to know say revealing niema na with the audit report now or chere say daily travel expense and I say allowance no daily travel allowance to nebaba no kwan $10,000. Ebusia eno nso no so far nanka eni kwan say aban ni netua but waye wemu nyina e de ama ne baba no and even cry nya no nko a oni nukunu so travel ye no eno nso sa expenses bi ba ya aban ni sika na so oman ni sika ana okukuru de koma ana so de kohwe nukunu no e wo sa travel no but of which anke ni kwan say eba sa na ebusia me pacho yebekaya in the 8th parliament the Supreme Court of the land, the apex court of the land, pie ba bonten the ruling bi betuja no mo ruling ni na me pacha no so na yasa project on the other side no mo ruling no mo kire say spouses first lady ni second lady any kwan say yetua omuka enti say any kwan say yetua omuka because omonye public servants enti no omudi enye say ko payroll so na manti bia yeyi etuetua omuka na say already there is a precedent. There is a precedent on that case here, Supreme Court. I'm sorry, Chief Justice Torkono waye. Because Chief Justice Torkono kura, I learned kura say na oka ho, na oka jury no ho. Ana omo tina so no mu di sa asem na omo fresh sa act no say Parliament etimi approve say first lady ni second lady ebetu omo kan eye unconstitutional. And this is here knowing this no, eye precedent da ho no. So can we say that same precedent no binding on you ana? Because you say law deals with precedent, and precedent is also another source of law. Bibiba na yedi kam ruling, sa ruling is saying that the higher court can say into any similar issue be and I say same issue be a baby biano. Sa ruling no and only a befa na yedi na abiding your friend is saying that case na afi abesino. So that is the precedent. So are we saying say on Supreme Court it's not say I can't say paying first lady ni second lady unconstitutional no and this is here and there Chief Justice Torkono no so why unconstitutional. Of course there is a precedent. This is a precedent. Ebusia na that screen is no. Na ebusia nsema making na yebra penny Kelvin Taylor we pia babonten. Listening to him no wa my a lot of insights. Na ebusia yebekọ ne akoti nsem na nkasa nchiremu every Kelvin Taylor ho oh no we breaking it down or break it say make us say somehow the act na Chief Justice Torkono why no. Me the main friend say dubious and I say me bet mpacho ubet match wide no comment section honum say ye dubious say ye dubious ubet match wide no comment section honum no they were breaking it down panti ebusa me mam kasa nyet nti yenko ti Kesi Taylor yen hwe de on so pie ba bonti on ko twi man so ko puli audit report na e ba bonti to expose the Chief Justice Torkono ebusa nyakopon sha na onye okese me de obi bia say
I am not dealing with a petition. I am dealing with what I will tell you say a judicial audit and no na maybe dealing with. The petition have nothing about me about the petition. I've not seen a word in the petition, so I can't speak on the petition. But Paul, I don't want you to say who petition, no? And he was trying to tell us that they all petition, but I'm going to use the audit, the judicial audit service. Also, the judiciary, the judicial service, the secretary, every year they audit the judiciary. And the judicial service, things you do, the law itself will tell you, so you are not supposed to do. And when they do the audit now, they will state it in there, say, so when Dibonia, this is a crime. Inti, the judiciary itself, the reason why they do the audit is say they know some judges can abuse the law. They know the judges, some of them can abuse power and it's not audit. And it's not the reason why I tell me say they know say judges no say nipa they can be corrupted. Say judges no and so bet me bumraso. That is why the judiciary itself, the judicial service, they have a special audit for the judiciary. Because say sebio enya having a pa kwa nkenya nkem bompaye and I say yembo yebrayi. And it's almost the judicial office, judicial service. Another almost here auditing of judges travels near the idea. Then they also want to fish out judges who are trying to be corrupt, who are abusing the law, who are basically spending on us. We paying for expenses we are not supposed to pay. Do you understand? Don't get it twisted. Paul Atumochi was lying. He was lying. But you see, they want to create a picture to say a personal attack on Madam Torkono. Madam Torkono, who need that? I don't know her. I only work with the facts. Now let me show you something. Team, stay with me. So the judicial service actually had an audit on all the judges in Ghana, especially the Supreme Court judges. In fact, the Supreme Court judges. And in the audit, the judicial audit, some findings, they came to some conclusion. They got they saw some abnormalities. They saw some illegalities. That's the word I'm looking for. Illegalities, bebre. Now let's go into the audit of the judiciary. This document I'm going to put on the screen. So the judicial service they should release a statement and say this is a fake document. This is the legitimate document. Omwankasa publish here. Omwankasa our file also. Now look at this. You see this document? Document where a draft management letter. The Judicial Secretary, Judicial Services. And Tiosha April 24th. Now, draft management letter on the accounts of Judicial Service, that's JS, for the period January to December 2023. Into audits are Judicial Services 2023 audit NE. This is a legitimate document. Me fancy ye be publish it. Ubi an kind na Judicial Secretary didn't say Kelvin Taylor has published this. Is it a lie? Mr. P, Mr. S. Now, Shadie, when you read the first page of the audit, this is what they say. Introduction. Mami and Lajin said you can follow what I'm reading. I always try to do that because Dipa ni bebre ni omu din komo no mo jimi. Inti MPP4 especially. It's always good for you to see the oho. Now, when you read it, this is what it says. We have audited the accounts and other related records of the Judicial Service in accordance with Article 187, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution and Section 11, Subsection 1 of the Audit Service Act 2000, Act 584, for the period January to December 2023. Now, this is what it says. Point 2. The following observations and recommendations made during the audit had been discussed with the key personnel, and their responses, where appropriate, had been incorporated in this management letter. 3. We shall be grateful to receive your response within 30 days after receipt of this management letter as required by Section 29 of the Audit Service Act 2000, Act 584. Now, point 2, let me read and break it down. Senebeya, eye PZ for omudi matem, sebio omumubi omunko school a MPP bu omso moye kwase ado mobeti bo nyina ase. Where audit service for omeleta omo statement release ye say we have audited the accounts and other related records of the judicial services in accordance with Article 87, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution and Section 11, Subsection 1 of the Audit Service Act 2000 for the period January to December 2023. It says this: the following observations and recommendations made during the audit had been discussed with the key personnel, and their responses, where appropriate, had been incorporated in this management letter. Almost say, your audit. Now, audit now, my no. Ye, aye sikasemu kunta inchechire wehu bibia. Na sebio, ye audit ni nyina wie na ehwehwe sikasemu, sene ye say sika, sene ye nye sika ne ade ade nyina wie no. Ho ba mu. Omo kwa atwe wo mu no. Tro letter koma sankofo ni nyina twen se de no yie ebeba. It means say audit ni wie no, judicial service here audit ni wie no. They actually wrote to the people who have found say they have done something against the act and answer the clause and answer the Article 187. If they had not committed any crime, saying bonibia contrary to Article 187, those people wouldn't have been written to by the audit service or the judicial service to answer questions. The reason why some judges were written to for their responses to be heard by the judicial services, audit service, judicial services now, audit now. Say judge be antrowa just a uhuni asem unya bone. Bibian wa ya say I was a fro. But the moment audit ni na se kasa Madam Torkono ye letter bro yinyome bia no a, meaning there were some things you did that are against or contrary to Article 187, meaning webumraso. Especially when you are the Chief Justice or a Supreme Court judge who should know right. Now, yanko enim e documenting him. When you go to the next page of the document, this is what you see. Yen reading boom. Let me enlarge it. Point 21 in this audit report. Disallowed expenditure. Remember the word. Disallowed expenditure. $30,000 and 252,338 Ghana cedis. Sa sikawe a disallowed expenditure. Meaning Article 187 does not allow it. Meaning you have committed a crime. Say your audit near trust say some expenses are disallowed. It means it is not allowed. It means it goes against Article 187. Now let's read what the audit report ekaye. That's what it says. Point 21. Regulation 78 of the Public Financial Management Regulations 2019 LI 2378 provides that a principal spending officer of a covered entity is personally responsible for ensuring, in respect of each payment of that covered entity, the validity, accuracy, and legality of the claim for the payment. 22. We observed during our review of the expenditure on foreign travels that, remember, the word is foreign travels. We observed during our review of the expenditure on foreign travels that the Honorable Lady Chief Justice traveled to Arusha, Tanzania, with her spouse, Mr. Francis Kofi Torkono, instead of her security for her annual leave from 2nd to the 10th September 2023. Almost some we are auditing. Who say the Chief Justice actually traveled, foreign travel. Sa foreign travel no na any official trip, na a holiday. The Chief Justice traveled to Tanzania, and the law says say a on one person a personal traveler, which is a traveler. I was saying only the bodyguard nebekono. She did not travel with her bodyguard. Instead, she traveled with her husband. Now, with this, it means the Chief Justice basically has flouted the law, because when it comes to your personal holidays, you are supposed to, at the end of the day, go with your bodyguard. Now, if you don't go with your bodyguard and you go with your husband, that means you have to foot your husband's bills. You cannot drop your bodyguard and use government money to pay for your husband. The moment you drop your bodyguard on your vacation, it means if you decide to go with your husband has to pay for every single thing. His flight, his accommodation, his food, whatever he does. But what they found out in their investigations, the judicial audit, the Chief Justice traveled to Arusha, Tanzania, with her spouse, Mr. Francis Kofi Torkono, instead of her security for her annual leave from 2nd to the 10th of September 2023. So one has been established. One crime has been established. She went on a holiday. Instead of her to go with her bodyguard to be paid for by the government, she dropped her bodyguard and went with her husband and forced the government to pay for her husband. That is one crime. All right. Now, 2.23. We also noted that the Honorable Lady Chief Justice embarked on another vacation. So the first vacation is gone, which she has already broken the law. The first vacation, she was supposed to take the bodyguard for the government to pay for the bodyguard's expenses. She dropped the bodyguard and put her husband in for the government to pay for her husband, which she knows is wrong. So that first crime has been committed. Now let's go again. This is not my document. This is the Judicial Service Audit Report 2023. We also noted the Honorable Lady Chief Justice embarked on another vacation, private foreign travel. Private foreign travel from 16th to the 25th of September 2023 with her daughter, Miss Edem Sarah Amega Torkono, instead of her security to the United States of America. She made another vacation trip. Instead of her to go with her security, one person, for the government to pay for her security, she didn't do that. She took along her daughter. And who paid for her daughter's expenses? The government of Ghana. Her daughter's first class, her daughter's business, her daughter's hotel, every single thing, this woman gave the invoice to Ghana government to pay. Second, she has committed 2 crimes. Remember, this is not a circuit court judge. This is not Kelvin Taylor. This is not Kwansima. This is not somebody on the street. This is the creme de la creme. The woman who runs Ghana's judiciary. So don't underestimate the kind of her. So be a bonny first one, so it was an oversight. But to do it again, it wasn't an oversight, it was deliberate. Because Madam Torkono no to. So because we are body and there, no be Madam Torkono say, oh madam, I was too hungry. This one, they forgive me. This is my first time, something. Temper there with their justice there. Oh madam, forgive me. This is my first time. The Madam Torkono will be like, okay, we are forgiving you. Next week, says say, you, Madam Torkono, will tell them to jail. You jail that person. Because then you will tell the person this is deliberate. Now you get what I mean. Now I'm sure idea. Now let's go into the details. Now you see this document. Mami ready point 25 and show. This is in the audit report. What you guys were making Paul Ademochi do no, on an assay case that my Chief Justice. I need to open this. It's not opening up. What's happening? All right. Now, point 25 in the audit report, it says this. The practice contravenes the policy in page 37, P1 and 2, section B, 1 and 2, personal travel by the Chief Justice. Personal travel. And a travel policy. There's personal travel and there's official travel. There are two things. She took advantage of the personal travel. Now it goes on to say that the practice contravenes the policy in page 37, P1 and 2, section B, 1 and 2, personal travel by the Chief Justice of the policy on foreign travels by head of the Judiciary and Superior Court Justices 2019 of the Judicial Services, which stipulates that where the Chief Justice embarks on a personal or private foreign travel, he or she shall be accompanied by the security alone. Mamen kind of Emrano Judicial Services for no Audit Tv no. They stated Emra said the Chief Justice here no we boom raso. Almost say, and I'll take it from the top. The practice contravenes the policy in page 37, that is P1 and 2, section B, that is 1 and 2, personal travel by the Chief Justice, of the policy on foreign travels by head of the Judiciary and Superior Court Justices 2019 of the Judicial Service, which stipulates that, and I state, where the Chief Justice embarks on a personal or private foreign travel, he or she shall be accompanied by the security alone. The two travels I've mentioned, the two travels I've spoken about, they are all private travels. They are all her vacation travels. And the law says it clearly. When it is your personal travel, when it is your vacation, you need to go with only your bodyguard. And that if you decide to go with anybody else, they need to pay for their own expenses. The funny thing is, this woman drops the bodyguard and then brings her daughter along. The first one was her husband for Ghana to pay, and second time, her daughter for Ghana to pay. Now, now read here. Go to point 26. I don't know what is in the Paul Ademochi Rebecca the petition and intina my medjuma kofa sa document we aba. I don't know what is in the petition. So don't say we are doing petition here. I'm responding to Paul Ademochi also who the petition. Now when you read point 26, this is what it says. We further notice that Miss Adam Sarah Amega Torkono's air ticket, which is supposed to be a business class just as that of Honorable Lady Chief Justice, was rather the World Travel Plus business class, which resulted in an additional amount of 9,000 in her ticket cost. It is not about Madam Chief Justice coming back later to say take your 9,000. No, it is the intentions. It's her knowing, say, she is breaking the law. She had broken the law first with her husband. She decided to break the law again with her daughter. And this time, she even upgraded her daughter's travel tickets from regular, what we call business class. She moved it up to World Travel Plus business class. Are you now understanding what I'm saying? So Madam Torkono has committed two serious crimes. It is and she returned 9,000. No, it is not about the return of 9,000. Nobody cares. She didn't even return the 9,000. What happened was that she deliberately committed a crime. She broke the law twice. Not once, twice. Now, when you go to the table down there, let me read something to you. Name, Miss Adam S.A. Torkono. Country travel to United States of America. Per diem, or just $10,000. Cost of air ticket, 109,000 Ghana cedis. 1 billion old Ghana. ni ticket no. Miss Adam S.A. Torkono ticket Torkono twama ne banie. Sika Ghana ban tuama Madam Torkono ba. Madam Torkono, Chief Justice, she knows the law. Onimumrano. But Oma Ghana for ye sika. Emo sama ne ba per diem of $10,000. The per diem is $10,000. Miss Adam S.A. Torkono's daughter took per diem of $10,000. Ne ticket, 109,000 Ghana. Old Ghana no, 1 billion. Now, when you go to the next one, it is Mr. Francis Kofi Torkono. He traveled to Tanzania with the wife, Madam Torkono, and then called Tanzania. Per diem, Yamani Cruz $6,000 per diem. At the end of the day, Ghana spent $74,000 on the husband. Remember, the 2 trips, they were supposed to pay for their own bills. The government was supposed to have nothing to do with the payment of these bills. So the intent alone, the intent was there to steal from us. The intent was there to commit a crime. Now, when you go down, you see something. Miss Adam Sarah Amega Torkono, onunkwan cost of air tickets, 109,000. Honorable Lady Chief Justice Gertrude Torkono sunkwan ticket, 99,000. Difference of 9,500. And Nana Paula the Motrika say, aye, and the woman paid back the 9,500. It is not about the woman paying back the 9,500. It is the intent behind her actions. It is not about bringing 9,500. It is the crime that has been committed. It is the deliberate crime. It is the intent. Because the first one now we are there. Why sorry? We a mistake. But you did another one and even upgraded your daughter's tickets. Meaning, a deliberate. The intent was there. It is how you judge. Now it's your konyum. Near the ademu assembly be two in him. Say nipano or your first one. Etiamra private trip. And International Polademocho was hiding behind travel policy. In the travel policy, there is official and unofficial. And then one can't travel. In the travel policy, there's something called official travel and unofficial travel. The official travel, you can go with your husband. The government will take care of your husband's bills because the unofficial travels, which is your personal trip, which is your vacation, the government can only pay for your bodyguard. But what this woman did was 2 times she traveled with her husband, paid per diem to the husband. At the end of the day, used Ghana money to pay a ticket for the husband. And so she did the same thing again. Travel with her daughter, vacation. She paid for her daughter, gave her daughter per diem. The government bodyguard who was supposed to go with her, this woman dropped him. So it means the woman deliberately decided to do what she did. It is a petition. Now, catch the Council of State and the President say, this woman cannot be trusted. She has broken the law deep down and that she needs to be kicked out. Has the person done anything wrong? I am saying, I don't know anything about the petition. I am speaking based on what Paul Ademochi put on his screen. So she's executing what's in her head. Ukojina Kota, it is not about the way about. They accuse you of something. And it's a bit of say, whoa, minyawa mekun, the intent keke etuma uko jail. So because you say, train now be and no krano etuma uko jail. Mumusa Madam Torkono. Na obiaya baako. Now wasaya another one. It means the woman, she decided to execute her intent. It is the intention. And does it go against the law? Yes. And does she know? Yes. You know why I say she knows? The reason why I tell you Madam Torkono knows, say, this was the same woman, Rebecca Kufuado, and Samira Baumia, edge illegal salary. And you know that's not case. So she knows that when you take illegal salary, you need to be brought to court and sanctions needs to be applied. So if she has done something illegally, she has taken illegal money to pay for her husband's trip, private trip, then she knows that sanctions should follow. So if today somebody writes a petition and in the petition, that pops up and sanctions have to follow her, why are people making it MPP NDC matter? It's her own actions. It's what she did. What she did is what we are exposing. The intent. She executed her intentions. She knew what she was doing. Because so we read the audit, judicial service audit now. Say another private trip, meaning why first one and also a second one. It's Mumusan say into on and Katia could you so to the Nima. Nipano ya the first one, I was the second one. No, I don't know the petition. I don't know what's in the petition. I can tell you on authority. But Poladomo so in petition, no. On an accord the petition, my betray. And it's a make church the Ghana for Mr. Poladomo bois. The reason because of one say he is trying to clean the woman. Say Poladomo tree. I dare audit to the screens, you know. Say a true say our petition, and yeah, maybe Chief Justice Torkono, she could not answer this question. And no person Poladomo chumbe clean up mano or public sympathy. So, madam, you are the law, the judiciary, the Chief Justice. Technically, you are the law in Ghana, and you are deliberately breaking the law. What should we do? I wasn't going to talk about this. I had this document like 3 weeks ago. I kept it because I thought to say, Samekan was sama, Rebecca say an agenda against the Chief Justice. I didn't want to do it. Makachro, I had this document about 3 weeks ago. I decided not to speak on this document because I didn't want Ghanaians to be MP before Rebecca say, I Obiako Tam document Kelvin Taylor, Obegu Chief Justice. So I said to my team, let's not touch this document. But until I knew the diabolic thing he was doing on TV, the deliberate atro, sa boneni Jimmy and o Jimino. I told my team, say we need to put this document out. And coming here that. Why should I do that? Because you see, as seminar, President Woko Council of State. So I wanted the process to work for all of us to see. Even though I had this, I didn't touch it. Because now in person be arguing and say, Kelvin Taylor cover document TV, obegu Madam Torkono. No. But until Paul Adomochi say who petition, no. And in the petition, this is what it's in the petition, and he's trying to clean the woman whilst he knew or he knows. So what he was doing was a lie, no. I said no. Memma Jandamwe Enkoso, I will stop it today. And he was hiding behind what we call travel policy. But he never went into the details when it comes to travel policy. Your official travel policy. Official travel. And your what thank you. My team said me Fabi being come on. Your official travel and your and your personal travel. Madam Torkono took advantage of the personal travel. Now, my DB. Let me show you this. So, Samabani and Kebia, we have a reason why I am Kebi. Now, if you are there, let me read this. Point 31. It's in the audit report. Me reading in natural. Yeah, we are about publish it. How many pages, Mr. S? How many pages with the report? Mr. S, how many pages? Let me go. 31 pages. Yeah. 31 pages. Yeah, we are publishing 31 pages in here. You guys should read everything. We are publishing 31 pages in here. Now, this is also part of the report. It says this. Management responded by quoting the paragraph 9A of the policy on foreign travels by head of the judiciary and the Superior Court justices, which describe the procedure for official travel by the Chief Justice instead of condition stated in the observation, which is captured in the section B, which involves procedures for personal travel by the Chief Justice. Management responded by quoting the paragraph 9A of the policy on foreign travel by head of the judiciary and the Superior Court justices, which describe the procedure for official travel by the Chief Justice instead of conditions stated in the observation, which is captured in the section B, which involves procedure for personal travel by the Chief Justice. So, even in the report, they made it clear, say, there is a clear distinction between official travel and personal travel. So, what Paul Adomochi was doing in this, he was hiding behind travel policy. No, we are looking at specific travels. Are we talking about the Chief Justice traveling on official duty or the Chief Justice traveling on personal or for leisure or for vacation. These are two things you need to be able to tell Ghanaians. But when you hide behind travel policy and she returned 9,000 and she did this, then you are trying to fool Ghanaians. You think you are smart. Paul Adumochi, Makachem said, or a drug addict with Jimmy. The things he does on that TV, and I've told Zoom Lion, your TV will collapse because of this fool. I've told Zoom Lion, your TV, I told you, Zoom Lion, I told you this, your TV will collapse because of Paul Adumochi, because that is bad investment. And we keep telling you this. Maybe you think you are so powerful and nothing. They say, Oma Kwasiadu investment in egu.